Okay guys, what's up? A lot of people have asked me for a long time to talk about what I eat. A backstory on this briefly is about 10 years ago, I joined the police academy to become part of a law enforcement agency for a while. In doing so, I needed to lose some weight. Unfortunately, after my mom passed away and then just living life for a very long time, I had let my weight go upwards of 490 plus pounds. Didn't quite hit the 500 mark. I wore it well, but it definitely took a toll on my body in the long run. And doing so, over time, I ended up kind of knocking a few pounds down. Fast forward to about 2013 when I started the process to get into law enforcement, and they advised me right off the bat, hey, we think you'd be a great candidate mentally, you're there, we need to make sure you're there physically. And I was thankful for the opportunity because I had to go through a rigorous training throughout the academy, and they expected a certain level of, exertion and physical activity out of us. When you were doing what I used to do, you had to be ready to run, jump for a long period of time at any given time. So lots of running, lots of lifting, and I had a couple of really cool coworkers and classmates at the time that really were able to help me get into a regimen of that. Now, I do want to say that whatever you choose to do to help you lose weight is on you. No shame from me. I did this completely natural. No pills, no patches, no needles, no nothing. This was solely what I would deem self-control. I wanted to make a change. A doctor told me that my blood pressure was so high that the machine couldn't read it and that hypertension was going to get me in my sleep, aka the silent killer. So I made some lifestyle choices of my own and I ran with it. But the way that I did this, more so than working out, I promise you, was what I put in my body. Now, at the time I was working at restaurants. I come from a Hispanic background, Puerto Rican household. We eat, we cook, we love it, right? When you're in the kitchen, I used to do prep chefing. I made it as far as a sous chef without the paperwork, unfortunately, so I didn't get paid like one. But you're always taste testing, right? Just before I went into the academy, I actually ran a kitchen for a senior citizen assisted living center and ALS for mental health for the seniors. So my job was to prepare 3 meals a day, 5 days a week. So as you can imagine, you really had to be on point. But on top of that, we need to make sure that we're tasting the food. Not a lot of salt. People have high blood pressure, sodium, all that stuff. What I'm getting at is you're constantly eating something, right? Then when you finally get a few minutes for yourself in between services, you need to eat. What are you gonna grab? It's real quick to just throw a couple chicken tenders in the fryer, so on and so forth. So it actually kind of started there when they knew that I was phasing out into law enforcement and into the new journey. I had a per diem, and the per diem was basically I could eat what I want when I wanted. So I said to myself, instead of making those chicken fingers, why not just make the stuff that makes sense? If you're cooking the salmon and you're cooking the white rice and you're cooking the broccoli and everything else for these elderly residents that we know is healthy, why don't you just indulge? And I just want to preface this by saying that it's not that I didn't like that stuff. I'm actually fortunate enough to be that overweight kid that not only did I like eating candy and pizza and soda, but when my mom put fish on the table or broccoli, I also ate it. I literally ate everything. So I took a step back and I started to do things that made sense for myself. And so that's what I did. This is Olive. She'll be my co-host. Say hello. Hellraiser. Anyways, so that's what I did. That was 11 years ago. That's the background on what's going on here. Today, we're gonna just kind of show you what a grocery haul looks like. Now, mind you, there are tons of other stuff off camera that I buy. And really, this is what it looks like and has looked like every week, sometimes twice a week for the last 11 years. There's one thing I'm missing. I think it's important to note that I do love grapes and we do eat a lot of eggs. By no means am I a nutritionist, I'm not a coach, I'm not a professional. So take this disclaimer for what it is. Friends and family have all messaged me over the years asking for a video like this. Now that I have a torn Achilles and I'm slowly healing, here we are. So let me just kind of walk you through my grocery run. First and foremost, I live in Central Florida, so I shop at Aldi. I used to shop at Walmart. Walmart got pretty expensive. Aldi has most of their produce already comes organic, like as their regular offering. So like if you go to a Walmart or some other store, they have the organic and they have the non-organic, excuse me. And you know, there's a price difference. At Aldi, the majority of their produce is organic, like kale. I eat a ton of kale. I've been eating, this is one of the first things that I really fell in love with during my transformation. So I go every week, I do the food shopping. My wife has helped out recently, but I pride myself. I do all the cooking, I do all the food shopping. If you're a man and you're watching this and you don't cook for your wife and you don't go food shopping, stop being lame. Doesn't mean that it's not the woman's job. Get involved and do something. And if you're a man and you can't cook, look up something on YouTube and learn how to cook, because that's embarrassing. So I've been feeling that for a long time. I don't care if you got offended or not. Go learn how to cook other than an egg. So I do all the shopping, I do all the cooking because I want to and I like it. And so, yeah, let's walk you through some of this stuff. So first and foremost, you're gonna see there's vegetables, there's greens all over the place. Chopped kale, I always have kale on deck. I eat the kale. We bake it in the oven at 400. We make kale chips, a little bit of olive oil on the top, black pepper. I don't put salt on anything. I don't even own salt. It doesn't even live in the house. Black pepper, garlic, stuff like that. Kale is the stuff for me. My wife and I eat a lot of salads. So obviously this is only one, but I buy about 4 of these 3-packs of romaines every week, and I promise you, they all get eaten. So lots of kale, lots of romaine. I do a lot of eggs, as I've already mentioned. Eggs are just something that I really love. Nothing fancy here. I don't buy like brown eggs or cage-free. You know, flame me in the comments if you want. I'm also just an average guy who's trying to make it out here, so I don't have the money for everything. But this is what's worked for me all these years, so what worked for you may not work for me and vice versa. So there you go. But grapes, I eat a lot of grapes. It's like a sweet little snack for me and kind of helps with the digestion. Brussels sprouts, we go through about 3 or 4 of these a week. This is a really cool, like, you know, traditionally you can do whatever you want with Brussels sprouts, but these are awesome. These are steam bags. You cut the top, throw it in the mic for 5 minutes, and it's ready to go. And if you're extra like me, you'll saute them up and put them in the roaster, whatever. Lots of that. Tons of broccoli, fresh broccoli, always on deck. Mushrooms, I usually go about 3 packs of mushrooms a week between eggs and just sauteed vegetables. Another thing that I eat a lot of on the daily, and Aldi really makes this, they're really awesome. This is cauliflowered rice. It's a frozen pack, and if you look at this, and I'm not like a big calorie carb guy, I'm aware of it, but I don't count it. But for those that do, there's 4 servings per container. Serving size is about 3/4 cup. There's 25 calories per serving. So you can eat this whole bag, which is 12 ounces of cauliflower rice, and it's 100 calories. So I put, you know, I chop some broccoli. I do a lot with salmon. I do a lot with salmon, skinless, boneless salmon, frozen. Olive, please. She never stops. What else do we got? Spinach. I eat a lot of spinach, again, with the eggs. I also make spinach salads. So tons of stuff we're doing with that. Asparagus. Can't get enough of this. I'll never forget the first time I ate asparagus when I was a kid. My mom told me that it was going to make my urine smell. And I wasn't understanding what she meant by that. Still gets me every time. Spring mix, again, they offer the organic as just their #1 offering, so we get a big old jug of spring mix. We usually tear through one of these a week between my wife and I. I like chicken thighs. I've been buying chicken thighs since I was a poor man. I'm still a poor man. But boneless, skinless chicken thighs. I cook them with, and then I'll take the skin off. The bone is good. It's a thigh, so you can overcook it for those who don't know how to cook. And in theory, it won't burn or dry out. But I take the bone and the skin off, but that also helps with the cooking process with the flavor. I do a lot of tomatoes, hit or miss. I'll either just slice a tomato with some black pepper and eat it, put it in a salad, pretty standard. I drink a lot of kombucha, organic kombucha. This is just for my gut health. I try to stay as, you know, ready to rock and roll. I do a lot of these turmeric shots for inflammation. This is not a paid advertisement, but I also take Juicy Joint, Shout out to Juicy Joint, BMX rider owned company. And so all that mixed together, we do that. And then I buy like other things, like these are really good. So this is Hearts of Palm Linguine pasta, 4 grams of carbs, gluten-free. So if you're not familiar with a heart of palm and you know what romaine lettuce is, just Google it. But if you take a look, there's 3 servings per container. Serving size is about 2.6 ounces, 20 calories per serving, 4 grams of carbs. This is amazing. You boil this right out of this little pouch, just like it was a spaghetti or pasta. We make this with Alfredo, marinara. I saute it with other things, a pesto, whatever. This is a really good alternative for anybody who likes that type of stuff. For me, I'm not a diehard pasta eater, but I do like to switch it up, and it is good for the wife too because she's Italian, grew up with the pasta, but also trying to be conscious of what she eats as well. So these are really good. They're like $2.60 a piece. And then sometimes I treat myself. That Aldi is a German company, so they have like these random things. These are little herring fish fillets in a curry pineapple sauce. Really good. So yeah, every once in a while I treat myself. Organic, uncured beef hot dogs. So healthy glizzy, pretty good. Buddy, I don't need you. Not right now, at least. But yeah, mandatory coffee. Cafe El Moro is it's kind of like the knockoff of oh man, I'm drawing a blank, but on the other coffee that looks just like it. Of course, bananas. I do a lot of smoothies. I really like banana, and my jam is the blueberry. It's not a paid ad, but blueberries. Blueberry banana. I like that for my smoothie. I buy that all the time. I get my blueberries from Walmart. We do run to Walmart every so often to get stuff. On top of that, I like my PB2. So instead of using regular peanut butter, I use the PB2. And I find that this is it's just a really good supplement. You don't need a lot of it. It does what it needs to do and stuff like that. But yeah, that's my kind of like my haul. I think too, it's important to note, I always buy like 6 of these. Every time I go to the grocery store. I drink about 1 a day, and I have for the last 11 years. This really is the secret to keeping the weight off. I've had many of friends try this. Some have stuck with it, some have not, some go back and forth. But when they're on that, there's no denying that a gallon of water a day, or as much water as you can take in a day, helps really just flush everything out. I'm not a scientist. It's literally just how it is. I don't make up the rules. But if you drink a lot of coffee, or if you're outside enjoying energy drinks or whatever the case may be, or just like outside like me, when it's 100 degrees out, I'm at the skate park on the weekends. During the week, I'm also doing 20 miles plus on a Saturday morning with the buddies on my big bike doing distance rides. This is the key to success. This also helps you cut back on your portions. Like if you hammer a bunch of water before you eat, guess what? You're not gonna have a lot of room to stuff a whole bunch of food down. Now I'm not saying don't eat, but if you're trying to cut back, this is really how I also started too, like kind of trimming those portions back to a normal portion that makes sense for you. So anyways, I hope this has been sort of insightful. It's not super long. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments. You can @ me at Coffee and Brats Podcast on Instagram. I'm happy to go back and forth about maybe some tricks and tips. Again, I'm not a professional. Disclaimer, disclaimer, disclaimer. This is just what worked for me. I'm on year 11 of this, and I feel good. I just turned 39, and aside from this Achilles injury, I'm in great shape. As I've mentioned in other videos, I ride bikes, and I outride a lot of people that are younger than me. And that's not a flex, that's just a test of how I've decided to take my time and turn my body around. I still have health issues just like others. Nobody's perfect. I have like heart disease that's, probably gonna really affect me later in life. But for now, we're here, we're in good shape. And this, everybody, is what keeps me going. If you're interested in seeing how I prepare some of these quick meals, usually I'm in and out of the kitchen 20 minutes. After work, I'll fix a 20-minute dinner, but utilizing all of these products. So if you're interested in seeing that, I'll have to get my wife to help me try to film it, but I'm happy to go start to finish and kind of just show you how I cook. I don't measure anything, I don't weigh anything, and I just season to taste. As I mentioned, I'm from the culinary world, many years of that, and I just grew up in a Hispanic household, so I know how to cook. So no real secrets there. You do what you like, but if you'd like to see that, let me know in the comments below. If you made it this far in the video, I'd love to ask to just like, comment, and subscribe if you can. It really helps the channel grow. I don't have a lot of subscribers, but maybe we could take this somewhere. But yeah, hope you enjoyed it. Until next time, peace.